You might not have heard of the Experimental Lakes area, but it's doing some really important work that is now in jeopardy. The unique laboratory includes 58 lakes in northwestern Ontario. Since 1968, it's carried out dozens of large-scale studies, like researching the harmful effects of acid rain and the impact of household products on fresh water. But the lab may soon have to shut down. The CBC's Margot McDermott explains why.
Now, is this diluted? This is a diluted sample?
Chris Metcalf is using this instrument to trace tiny bits of silver in water. Nanosilver is added to hundreds of consumer items to prevent bacteria. It's in everything from clothes to food wrappers. But scientists still don't know if it kills good bacteria if it gets into fresh water.
We want to know what happens when nanosilver is discharged. What does it do? Where does it go? And basically trying to find out whether it's a problem.
Last summer, Metcalf and his students used the Experimental Lakes area for their work. These pristine lakes are the only place in the world where this research can be done. Metcalf was planning to go back this summer. He has an $800,000 federal grant. But the federal government has cut funding to the Experimental Lakes area and declared it off limits to scientists.
They were very much looking forward to the kinds of answers that we could have given. And now we're not able to do that.
The Nanosilver project is not the only one that's been affected. Scientists had hoped to go to the Experimental Lakes area this summer to study the effects of climate change, of mercury, and of detergent on fresh water. All these projects are now on hold.
It is absolutely devastating. It's a travesty. It's heartbreaking.
Britt Hall is one of the scientists who's trying to save the ELA. She's heard the government is already tearing down some buildings. She wonders why it would give out grants and then close the place where the research is supposed to happen.
I don't know what they're thinking. The whole issue defies logic as far as we can tell.
Scientists want to continue their work this summer while the government searches for a private operator for the ELA. The deadline is September. But the minister in charge says his government is focusing on other kinds of research.
No government in the history of this country has supported science as much as this government has.
Meanwhile, Chris Metcalf has to think of another way to do his research into nanosilver. But right now, he's not sure how he can do it. Margot McDermott, CBC News, Peterborough, Ontario.